candles and bombs. Shining God, light your path, stranger. Can I interest you in any of our wares? We gathered what we could. Much of our coin goes towards feeding those in need over at the temple. Thank you, ma'am.
Payment for heads. It could be no simpler, I say. Tell me, are you someone who walks the path that coin lays out before you? In death, they steer your soul, but in life, you are bound to coin. Transmuting actions into payment is the alchemy that orders our world. All things turn on the axis of a coin bond. I pay bounties so that death can bring order to life. Would you help me continue the cycle? If you would forge a coin bond, I know of people on these islands who must die. Their fate is already decided. The coin wishes only to collect. Dugra the Ascetic is wanted for crimes against his monastic order. His people have made a coin bond for his death. The Orlan wanders the wilderness on the island of Crookspur, northwest of Nekataka.
Good day, traveler. I see you've taken an eye to my instruments. If you've any interest in the medical sciences, you need only ask. Well then, questions? I'm a researcher in the medical sciences. And before you ask, no, I don't mean animancy. Neither do I mean magic, nor, gods forbid, necromancy. Medicine. Study of the kith body, its inner workings and such. I've misgivings about magic use. It's useful, I'll grant you that. But it's a crutch. Stunts our scientific development, you understand. Makes me a bit unpopular, as you can no doubt imagine, which is why I've got this arquebus here. A patient of mine died under questionable circumstances. One morning they were fine, and the next they were dead. Someone is trying to discredit my work, I just know it. But they won't succeed. I came here to the archipelago to evade my rival's attempts at sabotage. And there certainly is quite a lot of work in the Deadfire, I must tell you. I've told you of my troubles. I suppose it's the least I can do. Settle in now. I've got a lecture prepared for just this occasion. Of course, it will cost you 3,000 copper. Ah, lovely.
Be welcome. We gather to honor the goddess, for we must earn the strength to endure the darkest of life's battles. It is an opportunity to learn. What good is a fighter who knows how to defend against a single enemy? If we must one day fight one another, such is Magran's will. Each obstacle is a challenge we must answer. These are whetstones that sharpen us into fine blades. Ikira, rain and wind is a better teacher than any priest. A fighter accustomed to comfort earns only bruises.
Supplies! Get your supplies here! Consider, friend, the blessings of the priests are priceless, but so too is good sense. I have supplies here, so that daring travelers may live to honor the gods. Certainly.
Hello, Watcher. Fancy a look at this stock? Straight from the laboratory. Have a look.
Burned. Well, that won't do it all. Hello, my apologies. I didn't see you there. I am fine. Is there some reason I shouldn't be? Which is not to say I do not appreciate your concern. I do. I, like the other scholars here, am engaged in the study of the soul sciences. Was there something you needed, or may I return to my studies? I had a mishap with my machinery, but all is well now. The details are unimportant. I wish only to return to my studies. In any case, why are you here? Just a bit of culture I've picked up along the way. I admire their tailoring tradition immensely. It's much grander than clothing one finds in The White That Wends. I am, of course. A curious mind is an agile mind. Besides, the two practices are more alike than one might think. Care and patience, yes. It is gratifying to be understood. It is a mundane story. I sought out the ship with the longest oversea route departing from the Republics and booked passage. I had intended to perform a handful of experiments regarding the nature of souls that could only be done safely at sea. A fellow researcher? Then perhaps you will understand. I've long been fascinated by the nature of entropy. Nothing is unaffected by the passage of time, excepting souls, supposedly. Is it not possible that repeated reincarnation damages a soul? Could the process of reincarnation itself be responsible for some of the many ills that plague the souls of Kith? I deduced that it was possible to escape the cycle, escape Bareth's grasp, to remove one's soul from the wheel. I'd not experiment upon myself without relative certainty it would be a success. There were complications. My soul may be uncoupled from the wheel, but it seems to have become dislodged from my flesh as well. Still, I am free.
A question we all must answer from time to time.
I am concerned by neither. I will sate my appetite with the souls of animals, just as I sated my appetite with their flesh while in my previous life. In the absence of live animals, luminous Adra has proven sufficient to sustain me.
If I catch you nibbling on my lantern, I'll kill you dead. For real dead.
I worry you've confused me for a moth. I will address that problem when it is before me, should it arise at all. I do not care to borrow trouble. My body and soul are my own. Why should I not do with them as I wish? Who are you to say? Truly. Tell me, what do you see when you peer into the souls of Kith? Do you see their misdeeds? Their evil thoughts? Their unkindnesses, perversions, cruelties? I apologize. I have always felt a kinship with your kind. Having witnessed the very worst in Kith has left me keenly attuned to recognizing ill intent. Perhaps you would be amenable to me traveling with you on something of a permanent basis? I have a vested interest in luminous Adra, but acquiring it here can be expensive. You have a ship of your own and are clearly well-traveled. I suspect I would encounter more luminous Adra with you than I would on the streets of Nekataka. Truly?
I just know we're gonna be the best of friends.
Thaklaut, traveler. I am grateful. I have all that I need. You may depart at your leisure.
You're early. I'm sorry, but we aren't ready to look into your condition yet. You can have a seat over there. Hope you don't mind heights or birch. You aren't one of our patients. Ah, Madiko, you that watcher. Sentere, I'm sorry. It's been a busy time here. You don't mind if I talk and work, do you? What can I do for you? Not the coziest place for it, is it? But the open air, the lightning specifically, is a boon. Lets our mages have a rest now and then. Good test of the equipment too. We're working on making it less delicate. Our junior researchers are still a little soft. Glad you ask, Amica. Very glad. We are very excited about the work here, and we are always looking for volunteers. We've catalogued a number of interesting properties unique to luminous Adra, but there are some very specific qualities we are investigating. Qualities that a watcher happens to be uniquely suited to exploring. You're just what we're missing. No. Well, yes, what isn't, but not exceptionally dangerous. Luminous Adra has special effects upon Kith. Even to the humblest, it offers some small improvements. Rejuvenation, vitality, the kind of thing you sell to people back home, ne? But what about those who have already harnessed their own essence? Consider the talented cutpurse, for instance, who can cross a room by slipping briefly into another place. The world between. Luminous Adra holds enormous quantities of essence. The kind of energy we can't replicate or restore. And these formations have a kind of connection to each other, across the in-between. I believe we can harness this connection and your natural abilities to transport a person across great distances in a moment. Oh, Good. You've done some experimenting on your own. A curious mind is a happy mind, I say. Can't mope about ghosts all day. We've collected a number of illuminating readings, and our machines are ready to harness the Adra's essence. But for the moment, we are effectively blind when it comes to targeting the next pillar. Now, if someone were capable of sensing that essence in the in-between, even of manipulating it, someone like a watcher, for instance. Precisely right. We've had luck with shorter jumps, but those were as much spellcraft as science. The idea is for you to focus on the next connection point. The machine will use that new link between the Adra veins to create a tether, as well as provide the energy for you to jump effectively. What's really exciting is, so long as you are holding that connection open, your companions can jump alongside you.
How far must I reach to grip this connection?
The next pillar is due east of here, in the middle of a farm. It's not as tall as this one, but you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Oh, and don't worry, we paid the farmers.
There was that fellow that jumped a little too far over the edge.
Stop scaring our assistant. Gelarde, very well. You stand there. Ansel, the machine. All right, Watcher. Remember, focus on the beam of light. It ought to be like stepping through a door. And remember, don't...
So, are we dead now? You're supposed to be the expert here.
I've seen more inviting whirlpools in my day.
Makes no difference.
Hogwash!
We have to go. Can't. No, please. Help!
Son of a cur! Happily.
I smell conflict in the air.
Didn't work.
Too slow. For the homeland.
What have we here? A wayward watcher has wandered into my realm. Whatever should I do with you? You did not receive an invitation to my realm, Herald of Barath. Tell me, why should I not grind your soul to dust? I do not fear Barath's wrath. Embrace oblivion with open arms, Watcher. As much as it would delight me to scatter your soul, you belong to Barath. I will spare you that fate. For now. As intended. Now, on to the matter that brought you here. Your animancer friends meddle in things beyond their comprehension. Were I not the generous creature I am, you would have died. Be sure to tell the animancers that they have failed, and that they have drawn my gaze. I will not hesitate to obliterate them if they irritate me again. Of course you will. You might prepare yourself, Watcher, for something wondrous is on the horizon. Eothas will usher in an age glorious in its brevity. You will soon learn. In the meantime, enjoy the world as you know it while you can. And do send my regards to your animancer friends.
You'd be great at parties, Remergon. Hey. Of course.
Watcher, can you hear me? Oh, thank the gods. Thank Helia. Merla, you had us in a panic. I don't have to tell you it didn't work. The current spiked and you went completely still, breathing but nothing else. We sent for the physician. Myself, I was about to try throwing some water in your face. What happened? Did you feel any pain? Do you remember anything? You had some kind of vision, a near-death experience?
What was it like?
Sientere, Watcher, truly. It seemed we sent your mind further afield than intended, and without the rest of you in tow. Not entirely outside our predictions, but not the result we wanted. We have stipend for volunteers. You're welcome to the sum of it. I hope it goes some way toward earning your forgiveness. Just as I hope this hasn't put you off helping us. We just have to adjust the current, give you a chance to control your flight, for want of a better word. We're all very glad you're in one piece. We'll have a look at the machines, figure out what went wrong. Until then, I'm sure our friends at headquarters will want an update, and to see I haven't done you any permanent harm. We'll send word when we're ready here.
Come closer to the altar. Come inside. The temple welcomes all to worship, most especially you. I ask only for no talking. Not until we pay our respects to Bereth, to Rikuhu. Let us pray.
Silent prayer? Where are the songs, I say? Did you learn this from Valians?
Again, I ask that you please fall silent for prayer. Deity of life and death, the endless devourer who encompasses all existence, hear this prayer, this voice chiming. I beseech you, Kohopa and Tangaloa, to ready this shell for sucking. Purify my soul in preparation for the coming of the next cycle. Digest all of my devotion. Swallow my sorrows, even the smallest swell, so I can be spit on the morrow. And Rikuhu, Bereth, my god and goddess both, the eels that churn in ceaseless cycle, the new and the next and... All right. I will address your inquiries, best as I can. So ask. The same. Your word, Bereth. Our word, Rikuhu. We worship the twin deal. The cyclic connection of the overworld and the underworld. Life and death. Life is Kohopa, and Tangaloa is death. Born starving, they devoured all living things, swelling larger each. When they'd swallowed all of existence, they tried to eat each other next. Now all things pass through their entrails. The end of one enters the mouth of the next, from the underworld to the overworld and back, again and again. End of the turn. I'm nearing it. Been working hard, preparing for weeks. You know, to die. But first, I've got to leave guidance for my apprentice, the next in the cycle, chosen to lead. Been wasting away for months. Can't say it's been easy, dying so soon. I thought about stopping a few times. Maybe you can see. I'm no death godlike. Bereth bestowed not one in my generation with a chime. Not the next, neither. A flawed messenger like me can't open the crypts. So my best chance is to die. Liturgies, instructions for ritual preparations, when and how, sermons, some histories too. All of this, it's our knowledge has gleaned through centuries of service. Now, I've got to leave it all behind for the next disciple. Under the temple, carved in the mountain's caverns, lies an extraordinary maze of catacombs. So I've read. They're the hanging sepulchres, burial place for ancient Wana chieftains. The bodies are protected by Bereth's best. Roaming, always. Plus, the ways sealed by the deity itself. Better. The timing's getting tighter. And there is one thing before the end. Something only one touched by Bereth can do. That's right. I've got no hope, but you do. My eels, my infinity coil keeps rattling. Pendants resonating with your chime. The coil resonates, but it's weak. You could unseal the way, but you'd die inside, I think. My chance would be lost then. Lost with your remains. Not just anyone can escape the hanging sepulchres. Alive. My time's waning fast. Right you are on that. I'd best not let this chance pass. There's a sacred text. The eulogy to Isair. It's been buried in the catacombs beneath the temple for centuries, next to his champions. I need it. Of course, the tombs, they only open to the dead, or those bearing Bereth's chime. It never was added to the tomes, but it holds the final clues for my death. It's my best chance. I prayed for decades, night to day and night again. Now, here you are, just in time. Means Bereth sent you to see to my success. I'll tell you what I can. He's no Juana, nor a death godlike neither, but he was a high priest of Bereth. His hair was a Diran, a hunter, chasing the undead 200 years ago. Read somewhere, one tome, he sailed to the Deadfire for a weapon, abhorrent to Bereth. Said the blade held a power most fearful. Isair fought hard for it, won the blade, but suffered grievous wounds. Bereth kept him alive till he could make it to the temple's catacombs. His champions were the ones who wrote his eulogy. Later, they were buried in the sepulchres too. You've got to go outside, on the lower walkway. Doors sealed up tight, though. Priests before me, all death godlikes could open it. Door requires a coil, resonating with Bereth's chime. But I haven't met a death godlike in my time. They're from the long-forgotten time, when there was only Juana living in the mountain. They got carved in even before the temple sprung up, before there was Nekataka or a queen. They're well guarded, because not all of Bereth's dead like the rest in their graves. All right, but there's something you've got to know, or I guess I've just got to say. You're my best chance. Or only, maybe. Take the coil. It'll open the crypts. Bring me a sayer's eulogy, and I'll teach you all I know of Bereth's arcana. The dead with their souls, they roam still. The ones who were chosen by Bereth. Not everyone's born so blessed. Sometimes, instead, you've got to die for it.
So you defeated this ship-devouring beast all by yourself?
I'm telling you, you just have to aim for the eyes.
So it is you. I could not think of a reason why your ghost should haunt the Deadfire, save to haunt me. And that smacks of arrogance. Sister. Another collection of spirits? The rumor was that Cadnua was destroyed, and you with it. I was sorry to hear it. I did in time, once I thought I'd summoned up the words to explain what happened in the White March. None of it made much sense to the Regency, but my men stood by me. If I was mad, so were they. When the priest spoke of Aethys' return, I volunteered to come, along with a few of my men. I think the Morning Council was content to have me out of the way. That's putting it all very simply. But then, I suspect few of us have simple reasons for coming to the Deadfire. That sword was only meant to keep you alive through your ordeal. It's fulfilled its purpose. Each missive from the Deadfire raises new tumult. Some believe our Lord restored, while others doubt. We've done penance for many long years. None of us know what forgiveness ought to look like.
It doesn't seem like Aethys has his mind on forgiveness these days.
I don't know. I came here on a pilgrimage of a kind. Nekataka is full of spirits. And the sea, where to begin?
Self-loathing is a blight on the soul, Adaric. Don't make your journey through hell darker than it has to be.
You're right, of course, sister. You are a watcher still, yet you are neither mad nor killed. It's good to see. The cure you sought, and which I was weak enough to doubt. See, there. Determination will win out every time. And now you are on to new challenges. So, his appearance has renewed your faith as well. I think for once I am content to wait. If our God wishes to speak with us, wishes anything of us, he will give us a sign. The priests pray daily for it. I would know if he has a plan for Saris.
Seemed to remember he already had one. Just wasn't any good.
Yes, play the jealous child. All you knew of his plan was that you weren't part of it.
Aethys had something he wanted to get done, and he chose Saris to pay the price. Yet here you are, begging for more. Say what you want about Dear Woodens, but at least they got a will of their own.
You're right. That was uncalled for. I apologize. Take care, and may the Shining God light your way.
I can't believe it. Is that really you? And Adair, you made it out of Gilded Vale for good then. I'm glad.
A lot more might have made it out if you hadn't left them for dead.
I haven't forgotten. It's why I'm here, Adair. I kept to my word. I started trying to help around town like you told me. When the Hollowborn curse ended, it was like... You can't imagine what that meant to everyone. We had some good years. Then word came through that the Dawn Stars were coming out here, that the Shattered God was back to being the Shining God. Blazes, I tossed and turned about it. I figured there couldn't be a clearer sign. So now I'm doing what I can, handing out food mostly, or delivering supplies. Familiar work, I guess. Took some getting used to, working shoulder to shoulder with Raid Sarens, but it's not so hard as you'd think. Feels like I'm on the right path, toward a little piece of redemption, maybe? You too, eh? Don't know what you have to be sorry for. Would be nice to get some answers, maybe. Or forgiveness for getting his people killed. I don't know. Doing my best, lady.
Hungry? Come on up. Don't be shy. The Shining God will bless you for it, ma'am. That coin will help those in need.
Indeed.
Here for a meal? Just get in line, dear. Ain't no trick to it.
Hey, there's a lady I'm looking for. Came from Deerwood. Short, got a bad temper. It goes by Alava Mazzy. Heard of her?
I know an Alava, but that ain't a surname.
No?
Not real warm, that one. Stop by unannounced, you get a pistol up your nose when she answers the door.
Yeah, that's her. So, she's living with her, husband, then?
Not that I noticed.
Huh. Must be laying low.
Just that boy of hers.
She's got a son? How old would you say? Like a little boy? Nah, just curious.
Oh, I couldn't say. It's been years. He must be a young man by now.
Wow, that's something. Well, thanks for your help.
Don't you want to know where to find her?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
She's in Hasongo, last I heard. Got a little plot of land out there.
I guess we'll look that way then. Much obliged.
Jody, I do hope you're not getting into trouble now. Who, me? No, I wouldn't dream of it. Do swine stink like shit? I'm guessing you're not here to worship. Then what can I do for you? Oh, yes. People are afraid, angry. Change can be frightening. But what did any of us come here for, if not a new beginning? No more than anywhere else. No sense fighting it. The water sustains our faith, surely as it does these trees.
Gone's the only one that matters.
The Shining God's got many faces, but they're all his to wear. Divine King Widewind, he saw the dawn stars, telling him of things to come. But it's gone with sickle and lantern that's come to the Deadfire. Our God's returned, and he's gonna bring balance to the world. He's gonna right all the wrongs we have suffered. Gone will bring a new beginning for all of us when that hour comes.
You know how I've been saying there's nothing more important to me than us freeing you from Bareth's bonds? Well, I meant that. I did. But there's this other thing I need to see about. On the way, like. I was gonna tell you. Exactly, you understand. Wait, how's that? This woman, well, love's not the right word, but she was something to me once, back in Gilded Vale. Once Theos was gone, there wasn't much keeping me in Deerwood. Thought I'd be happier in Adir, where my folks had gone. It was nice seeing them again. Been almost since the war. But I didn't belong. Found I couldn't talk to anyone. Not just because of the funny way Adirans talk. Over there, across the ocean, it's like nothing I'd been through ever happened. Not the war, not the legacy. Even my parents missed most of it. And I'm glad about that. But all we had to talk about was stuff from when I was a boy. Then, I thought of somebody I knew I could talk to. Maybe the last person. And just like that, I was back on a boat, going the other way. Last I saw her, she was going to New Hayamar. Went looking for her there, only to find that she'd left a long time ago. Anyway, I don't expect you to understand, but I gotta know she ended up all right. Yeah, that's something. Coming out of Deerwood during that time. When I knew her, she had another little boy, just a baby. But the legacy deprived him of a proper life. I never found out what happened to him. But with the Hollowborn, he didn't have to ask. Guess he got a brother, though. No, but I don't see a way to let this go. Least a way's not now. Last time I saw Alava, we got friendly. Now she's got a son. Nothing personal, but I don't know if there will be an after. Even though you may be the only one I wouldn't bet against. I followed you once when there was something you had to do to put your soul at ease. You went through a lot, but we did it. Now I'm asking you to let me see to mine.
Takehu, you ever use your abilities to play jokes on anyone?
Ikera, I once sold a water globe to a Mataru priest. It was filled with live fish.
It doesn't sound like much of a joke.
The trick was letting the sculpture break down while he slept with it over his head.
Oh, I'm getting so many ideas right now. How would you feel about betraying the Watcher's trust? I noticed the Huana got a lot of statues of Andra.
Ikera, Mother Ngati is much beloved.
That doesn't bother you?
Should it?
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel? You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth. The Grand Secretary Atsura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs. Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right. Her office is at the back of Imperial Command. She is busy organizing other matters. But I am sure she will grant you an audience.
Well, if everybody in my village had a naked statue of my mama, I'd be knocking on doors and making threats.
I'm sorry, but this area is strictly off-limits. Private property of the Royal Deadfire Company, that's what.
Beat it. I don't have time to chit-chat. Not a chance, Aimika. Fascina sent you, didn't she? Postinago, just for these? Soft as down, but not a single fence willing to pay me a fair price. Maybe they've got imp stink all over them. Should have guessed these were bad luck. Well, it's too late to go making smart decisions, isn't it? Here he comes, and I'm too late. If Hamuto doesn't give me an extension on my debt, I'm a dead man.
So, Berteno, you hired a mercenary, or else a negotiator. That coin should have gone toward your debt to me.
Huh? No, I didn't. That is, I would never go behind your back. I
like dealing with people of substance. This is a private matter. Your interference is unnecessary. Indentured servitude. I trust this is a more honest and respectable alternative than any pursuit he would take on his own terms. Do I? One can be adherent to the tenets of maritime law, and still be seen as a monster. You must care a great deal for this insufferable little worm to stake your purse on his freedom. 400 pyres are what Berteno owes, and I will accept that sum to have this sorry business concluded. Then our business is concluded.
I can't believe I'm finally out of debt. For the first time in my life, I'm free. What was that for? Oh yeah? How's this for gratitude?
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Ach, you got one thing right.
Meet her eye when you...
If this is about the Hazatoa tournament, I've got nothing to do with that, all right? I just serve the drinks. Some of the soldiers and sailors get to making unwise bets when they play. Like I said, I keep out of it. None of the regulars are looking for new opponents, though, if that's what you're asking. All the better for you, trust me. They always pay on time. They're run by the Ranganui, so they should, right? Also, I'm from a town near Tekoa. Rautai's full of all kinds of kith, not just Amawa. But the Amawa have a long history at sea. They make up a lot of sailors and soldiers, including most of the ones that ended up here. Sorry, I'm really only supposed to sell to captains working for the Royal Deadfire Company.
I don't think she likes me. I spent most of my career escorting foreign ships.
Many have. She's got nothing against scramble routes, but don't stare at her hand.
With sails unfurled and sword held high, to battle for glory and Rautai.
Faithfully done, Emiani. Report to Wakoyo Nui when your hands and your temper have healed.
That's the last time I ship out with some soft-handed runt. Come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know. I punched my captain.
Atta girl.
Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore. I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better. Still a scramble root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer. Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know. Either personally or by reputation. I'm sure you're capable.
but I don't know enough about you. Yet. Let's talk again when you've made a name for yourself.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but how do you get your shirts on in the morning? I guess so. You in the market for some supplies, friend? Because I'm from Rawatai. Or, to be more specific, my ancestral home's been part of the Empire for decades. Few generations now. I don't know. I never known anything else. We've got the Rawataians' fancy new irrigation canals now, and the roads have gotten better. The ones leading into Tekoa, anyhow. Funny thing is, the further you go on them, the nicer everything gets, and the more it all looks like this. The usual way, I guess. Their soldiers beat ours. I guess it used to. When I was younger, I grew up hearing stories of the time before from my grandparents. But they were children themselves when Rawatai took over. Some wax romantic about the old days. Anyways, I'm just trying to make a living. That's why I'm here, after all. That's a better subject. I've got all sorts of goods and supplies. Take a look before you head back out. Take a look.
Clear skies, my friend. Maya, I assume you vouch for your new captain?
On occasion. Why?
Your ship, unmoored from Deadfire politics, is an asset I would grasp with both hands. An arrangement can help us both. You will empty the seas of competition in exchange for profit. An official reckoning is drafted to account for every cannonball shot in the name of Rawatai. Our paperwork is most thorough. For every ship sunk, there is a legal justification. Our enemies will know the war is started on the day we fail to turn in our paperwork. A Scylla wave skipper is your first target. A pirate shirking any pretense of lawful conduct in the open seas. Most excellent. Scylla commands the Voyager River Dragon, which pesters a group of islands to the southwest of Port Mage. Ask away, my privateer. I would not have you take to the water uninformed.
Of course.
Time I ship out with some soft-handed runt.
Why does your Ronga carve his name into a rock?
The Ronga Nui, and it's a commemoration to show what he built.
Oh. Then did your Reparo also write their names on other stones?
Indeed.
All this trouble over a tablet of fucking stone. If my company's standing wasn't on the line, I would have written this one off as a loss already. All of her pretenses of cultural pride are a means to an end. Like the rest of the Huana, she isn't above exploiting any advantage if she can profit from it. As you say. I heard tell of Ephraim, a thief with a penchant for making house calls. Word has it that Ephraim made his way inside of Archimere's manor and later died. Now his soul is bound to the fortune-telling machine in the dark cupboard. Strange fate. I help finance expeditions around the Isles, which often means keeping an ear to the ground. Not very romantic from behind a desk, but Rawatai's campaign could use the extra coin.